This particular video should not be treated as an investment advice. You are requested to consult your investment advisor before making any decision. At best, you can treat this video as an informational, or as a content of infotainment. So this is the name of the company for today, Elantus Beck India Limited. I would now hand it over to Kalpak to introduce this particular company to you.
Right. So thanks, Abhineet. Getting on with it, Elantis Beck India Limited is essentially a chemical manufacturing company. However, the industry that it serves is the electrical insulation and electronics market. Okay, so it's a chemicals for that particular sector. Uh, it is an Indian arm of a global leader in this field called Altana Group, which is actually 75% of the promoter holding of this company. Elantis Beck is the domestic market leader in insulation chemicals. So those are enamels, varnishes, hardeners, construction chemicals, and a lot more. So they've got a very broad range of products, and they are a market leader in the domestic market. Most of their products are manufactured in India at two plants, one in Pune, Pimpri, and the other one in Ankleshwar in Gujarat. About 30 to 40% of the raw materials are imported. Much of the imports are from other subsidiaries of Altana Group itself. So it's
Yep.
the sales market is restricted to South Asia. And like I said, it is a market leader in what it does. So the business is categorized into two segments. One is the electrical insulation business, and the other is the electronic and engineering materials business. Uh, 87% of the revenues comes from the prior one, and the rest from the latter. Speaking about the first one, the electrical insulation business, okay, that is further split into two businesses. One is the primary and the secondary business. Okay, the primary business is basically the magnet wire enamels. Okay, so these magnet wires are, Abhinit, you must have seen, round coiled wires inside transformers, inside a lot of electrical appliances where copper wires are wound and they need to be insulated.
Yeah.
Okay, for example, it's used in many products for home appliances, transformers, automotive industries, industrial segments. It is quite a decent sized market, and Elantis Beck actually holds 52% of the market share. I would like to say that it's a very organized market. So
Okay.
essentially, the copper coils are coated with these enamels, okay, to
Okay.
insulate them.
Okay.
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 Uh, Moving on to the secondary side of it, the secondary market under the electrical insulation business division, these are the ones for rotating machines, basically motors. Okay, and these copper windings also are need to be insulated using certain varnishes. Okay,
Okay.
so this is what they call the secondary market. Motors have applications everywhere. Okay, but to name a few: automotive components, industrial motors, generators, transformers. Elantis has a 33% market share in this secondary market. Okay,
All right. All right.
and finally, uh, electronic and engineering materials. This is the second segment of the company. This they have 13 that contributes 13% of their revenue, and the India market share is about 20%. Okay,
20%.
this
Okay.
is majorly different from electrical insulation, where as in that this works majorly in electronics, shielding, auto electricals, filter high voltage capacitors, and very importantly, e-mobility. E-mobility is
Okay.
electric vehicles. It's a very organized market. This so in India,
Okay.
90% of the this market, the electrical insulation chemicals, is organized. Okay.
Oh, wow. Okay. Okay. Now that brings us to the point of research and development, Kalpak. You touched upon it, and while I was going through the annual reports, I realized that the company has spent about 5% of their total revenues for the year 2018. Okay, and you see there are various products that they keep on innovating. Okay, so if you come to point number 4 here, they have developed some kind of a solution for the non-stick coatings, in cookware. Okay, so
Right.
instead of wire enamel, they have developed some kind of a new solution towards it. Okay, and then they are like you mentioned, it's a business of continuously innovating. Okay, talking about electric vehicles, and now this is this is like a buzzword, and everybody wants to enter into this particular trend early. So I was just going through a few reports, and this is one interesting thing which I found. And it says that if you take a look here, it says that a pure electric vehicle can contain more than a mile of copper wiring in its stator windings. Okay, so it has been projected that once EVs take over, even partially, the consumption of copper is going to increase significantly. Okay, and on the right side, you would be able to see by how much proportion the consumption of copper is likely to increase once EVs start, coming or start becoming mainstream, right?
Correct.
But then the point that I'm trying to make here is, if we are going to witness a trend of migration from IC engines to electric vehicles, uh, this kind of a business which is into providing insulations to the copper windings, it can really take off. Okay, so net on the electrical transformers business, we are net importers, and like most of the other products, like most of the commodity products, China is occupying a major chunk of the export business, which is about one third of the exports are driven by China.
Some other segments that the company operates in is, one is consumer electronics. This is again a hot segment. As you can see, India's imports are really rising. Consumer electronics will be your smartwatches, phones, those kind of devices. You can see humongous rise in imports, but also exports are slowly beginning to rise. Okay,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
going forward, this will be an important market for Elantis Beck, because it's right now it's a very small contributor to revenues. But if this explodes, Elantis is poised very well to serve this market.
Yeah, yeah.
And the other big one is electrical machinery and equipment. So like you said, electrical and mechanical machinery, like transformers, compressors, motors, drives, these kind of things, right? If you see that India has slight amount of trade deficit when it comes to this, but it also has a huge domestic manufacturing and demand market as well, which
Correct.
Elantis also holds a strong position in. So
Correct.
if you look at a little bit about where this company lies in the spectrum of things, I would say that it's a slow growing company. Okay, if you see the sales are growing gradually about 4.6%.
Yeah.
Net profit also is in tandem with the sales, again at 4.6%. uh, but one very interesting thing, Avinit, is that uh, the company has zero debt. Okay, no debt at all whatsoever. And if you see, fixed assets of the company were from 2010 to 2016 were almost the same. Okay, till 2017, in fact, no major capex addition, but sales were growing. So this tells me about two things. One is that the company has invested in R&D, created new materials and hence new markets, which have grown revenues. And secondly, there has been operational efficiency improvement, at least from a manufacturing perspective. But now the good thing is that there has been a huge capex coming in, comparatively huge, from 40 crores there, up to 120 crores. So that's 3x multiple in the capex. This is through a plant in Gujarat, in Ankleshwar. Very interestingly, Avinit, they've gotten allowance for about 48,000 metric tons of manufacturing capability, which is
Mhm.
actually the entire market size currently today. So the reason they said that they expect India to be a very quickly growing market.
Yeah.
And the idea behind taking such a large permission is so that they can gradually up the capex as and when the demand comes up. So that's a basic snapshot. If you see the ROCE of the company, it's a very healthy ROCE, which is why it's an exciting share. Okay, yes, at the moment there is no excitement in the terms of growth. It's a slow growing company, solid market share. It has good amount of assets to even tide over something like the coronavirus. It has strong investments, very strong cash balance, no debt at all. It has a strong business portfolio of reliable customers, and it's only eating market share slowly. But if the company is to be owned from a exciting perspective, what you need is something that will bring the bang in growth.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
like you nicely covered before, the EV market is one very big potential I find here. Okay, if EV batteries and EV motors require copper, right? So if they start getting manufactured locally in India, Elantis Beck might really explode. So this is a really good, I would say, proxy play on the EV story. Okay,
Yeah.
but still till
Without
now,
risking too much.
exactly. So till now there is not much movement on the ground.
Yeah.
Another thing is the consumer electronics play. All that being said, it's a safe company to hold.
A very healthy ROE number of 20% plus pretty consistently. And then you see they haven't raised money in the last 10 years. Okay. So whatever growth they have achieved, so 3x, 4x growth in their net block, it has been completely financed through internal accruals, and there is no money raised through equities or debt. Okay. So now
Right.
that's something which I see as a sign of a healthy company led
Right.
by a good management. Okay. Uh, Talking about the working capital, you see, the 10-year profits at 415 crores and the 10-year cash flow from operations of 364 crores. So they look very comfortable on the working capital side as well. Okay.
Right, right.
Uh, Talking about the money invested in fixed assets, it's about 118 crores, right? The growth rates we have already spoken. And then finally, talking about the dividends the company has given. So they have the intention of returning wealth back to shareholders. On this note, one thing which I want to highlight is Elantus Beck tried to delist their company in the year 2009 or 2010. Exactly, I do not know. If you just go to Google and search their share price, you'll see that there was a big volatile move during that time, about 2009. I think it tripled or quadrupled in price, and then immediately it came down. The reason it has come down, I'm sure you viewers would Google the share price, because price is a very fascinating aspect of stock analysis, right? So the reason it has come down is because the buyback didn't, the delisting didn't go through. Okay, there's the power consumption and the power generation in India is likely to increase. Okay, the power ministry has been one of the most active ministries in the Modi government 1.2 and 2.0 as well, right? Rising demand in home appliances segment, this is a reality that we are going through. Unfortunately, the rise in demand is met through imports. Okay, but at best what we can hope is we will be able to make it in India and consume it in India, right? So Elantus appears to be a very low risk play on electric vehicles, like you said, because the downside of holding a stock like Elantus is low. Okay, because even if the EV dream doesn't materialize, they have their conventional business to fall back upon. Okay. On the negative side, Kalpak, there was an issue in Ankleshwar recently, their Ankleshwar plant, where the Gujarat Pollution Control Board served them a notice and they had to close down their plant, I think, for about 2 months. Okay. That issue is still completely not solved, but I think majority of this has been taken care of. Okay. Secondly, regulatory requirements are high in this sector, because the thing is, the products that they make are very important from a durability and quality perspective. Imports from China is a real threat. Okay, we have already spoken about it. The transformer business we have spoken. One thing which I did not like, Kalpak, is the company is a net forex spender. Okay, so you have already mentioned that about 30% of the raw materials are imported, and many a big part of it is imported through the subsidiaries or other companies of the Altana Group, right?
Abhi,
And
I have a point to add to this.
yeah,
While it is a net importer, the way the entire arm of this Altana group is structured is that it is not allowed to export outside. So they're making here, they can barely sell it to other geographies. So
yeah,
that's
yeah.
unfair to shareholders, because that could really open up explosive growth opportunities.
Exactly, that could really open up explosive growth opportunities. And the worst part of this is they have been importing technology and raw material from other Altana Group companies. Okay,
Correct.
so it's unfair. I mean, that's one point which I did not like is the company has been spending forex, and I think the average amount of forex outgo by the company in the last 2 years has been about 80 crores, okay, per year. So, if I have to give a final verdict on this, Kalpak, I would say at best right now, I would keep this as a watch list company. Okay, because the thing is, there are things that you can observe. Okay, so you can observe the trade data, you can observe how things are playing out, how the power demand is shaping up, and how the EV complete story plays out, and then you can always keep adding this particular stock, in a staggered manner. So if I have to talk and give ratings, I would say business wise, it's a 4 on 5. Valuation, it's about a 3 on 5. It's an expensive stock, and one of the reasons why it is expensive is because of the low float in the market. Okay, 75% is with the promoters, right? And promoters, the Altana group is, I did some research about the group and it appears to be a decent group to me. Okay, but the thing they did back in 2010 makes me give a lower rating of 4 on 5 and not 5 on 5. Okay, that's about it, guys.
All right,
So
guys. So hope you enjoyed this coverage of Atlantis Beck India Limited. Thanks, Abhineet. Please make sure to subscribe to this channel. One video every week. We would love it if you can like and share this video with your friends. And as always, happy chai time.